All this action from the Extreme Festival of Motorsport is proudly brought to you by Investchem and Marlboro Crane Hire. Round 2 of the National Extreme Festival makes its way to the home of the Extreme Festival, Zwartkops Raceway, just outside of Pretoria, and absolutely ideal conditions to be racing in today. 21 degrees Celsius, a small breeze. That means that the single-seaters are going to be pushed hard as we start things off now for the second round of the Investchem Formula 1600s. In Cape Town, it was a local man, Andrew Rackstraw, that dominated things, but up on the Highveld, there's certainly going to be a couple of guys who know Zwartkops very well. One of them is going to be pushing hard. The return of the two Gelderhuys boys also makes it very interesting in the mid-pack. But keep an eye out on ex-champion Nicholas Van Wheelie as he pushes to try and get to the front and take on the young guns who seem to be wanting to take away the number 1 plate for the season. Dean Fenter with double duties this weekend in the Polos as well as in the Fly SAF Air car, stepping into Andrew Schofield's seat for the weekend. Let's see how he goes as we go on board with him for the start. Lights out, good start there from him as he pulls off alongside, and you can see already chopping and changing there between the Gelderhuys boys, trying to get up on the inside of Jared Ruberski as they're going to turn 1. Could be a little bit of wheels touching here. There's going to be interesting stuff if they do touch wheels. Fenter keeping it very smooth and steady as they head down towards turn 2. And remember, he started from the back of the pack, so he's already up into about 7th place there by the looks of things, already starting to try and squeeze through there on the two Gelderhuys boys. A little bit of pressure there on Alex Voss as they come out of turn 3, and it's coming from Ruberski. Ruberski didn't quite get the start he wanted. You can see he's going to have to push hard and try and get to the front end, but at the front end, it's Rackstraw dominating as we've seen all season long so far with the first 2 races in Cape Town. And on his tail, Nicholas Van Wheelie. Van Wheelie's certainly the man to watch out for here in Zwartkops because he's certainly a man who knows the circuit well. But of course, Andrew Rackstraw has now had a couple of seasons under the belt. On board now with Ewan Althuizen as they come under braking. Alex Voss could be in trouble here. Yes, he is. Oh, and they're going to touch wheels. That's going to be interesting stuff. A little bit of touching of the wheels there between Voss and Althuizen. Althuizen very lucky to survive that one. You touch wheels in a single-seater can go horribly wrong. Very lucky to survive those two. I'll start there once again from Josh LaRue, new man to the series and certainly a man who knows what to do in a single-seater coming from karting and now starting to put the pressure on. But you can see he's lost a little bit of ground there to the top 2. So going to try and work on his starts to see if he can stay with those top 2 and head into turn 2 now on the second lap. And you can see the two Gelderhuys boys starting to push and put the pressure on. Dean Fenter has split them though. He's got in amongst the two of them. Antoine dropping behind Gerard. And Gerard at this stage putting the pressure onto Jared Ruberski, who's applying pressure big time there. As you can see, pushing hard onto the back end and looking for a way through. Brendan Tracy in the mix as well, just in the back there. But we'll keep an eye on him as they come up onto the back end of the back straight. Great start here, as I said, but you can see with the single-seaters, they're all starting to sort of form up now and getting to their positions that they would be fighting in with guys that have got similar lap times. But at the front end, it's a dominant display once again from Rackstraw. We go on board with Gerard Gelderhuys. He's under pressure. It's going to be Dean Fenter possibly on his inside. Yes, there you go. Fenter squeezing through the Fly SAF Air car, just diving on the inside and squeezing him out. In the background, a bit of a spinner. I think that might have been Brendan Tracy. Tracy getting it out of shape there, just spinning out all on his own. Let's have a look at it. Once again here, this is from Brendan Tracy's point of view. Coming up into turn 5, he just got it on the wrong side of the track. A little bit of dirty stuff out there and just locked up those wheels. Spun it out. Good recovery though. Oh, fantastic recovery in fact. How's that little turnaround there, little 180 with a handbrake, even though there's no handbrakes in the car. Brilliant stuff there from Brendan Tracy. He's back on track, but a lot of work to do. We're into the mid-pack once again. You can see just how hard they're pushing in that mid-pack. And it's a big move. And look at the gap that's opened up. 1, 2, and 3 equidistant apart. Alex Voss with a bit of pressure now from Ewan Holtzhausen. The pressure is starting to mount there as they go up through turn 4. See just how difficult it's going to be here through turn 4. Heading up to the top of the hill now, the two Gelderhuys boys. I think we're going to see a bit of chopping and changing between them as well. But now they come out of turn 4. Look at where is Van Wheelie running wide to there. Completely different lines coming in. Oh, and we lost Holtzhausen. Holtzhausen's gone missing. Ewan Holtzhausen's made a mistake somewhere on track, and I think he's dropped out of it, possibly down at turn 4. Maybe that pressure he was applying onto Voss was a bit too much pressure, and it caught him out. As they come down to turn 8, you can see there, he's definitely gone. And it's now Josh all on his own, so with Alex Voss behind, Andrew Rackstraw out in front, and still Van Wheelie in second place. Let's have a look at it here from, this is Ewan Holtzhausen's point of view, into turn 4. He just goes in there a little bit too hot, loops it out, and goes straight into the kiddie litter. Very fortunate to miss the wall. I think he'll be able to get going again and get back on track, but he's got a huge mountain to climb now. In that mid-pack, we continue the action there between the two Gelderhuys boys. Antoine at this stage behind Gerard, and those two having a little in-house fight amongst the brothers. But the fight now starts to rage as Jared Ruberski closes in on the back end of Alex Voss. The DAW man looking for a way to just find a way past there on that DV Building Supplies man and a Curie Zoo car of Voss. And whoa! Where is he going? Is that the Keegan Campos line? It is. He's running really wide up at the top of the hill there, and unfortunately Nicholas Van Wheelie has gone farming big time. And looks like he ran out of brakes there by the looks of things. Eventually got to slow down in the kitty litter, but he just outbraked himself going up onto the top of the shelf. And unfortunately, that means he'll drop right to the back of the field. Hopefully he can get back on track as they come through to turn 8. Only a couple of laps to go now for these guys. Jared Waberski applying the pressure now to Foss, realizing he could potentially get a podium position. Having seen the previous and ex-champion go off, he's back on track. There we go, confirmation of that. But very lucky to survive that one. Let's have a look and see what happens here. He comes up under braking. Oh, just locks up. It's not running out of brakes. He just locked up the brakes completely. And very lucky not to go into the tyre barrier and the air fence. That could have caused some damage. But he was able to get back on track as we saw. 1 lap to go. Checkered flag is on standby for Rackstraw. He's miles ahead, but Josh Leroux still in with a chance here. And Josh Leroux up for a chance of second place with the demise there of Nicholas Van Wheelie. The RDSA machine has done an absolutely perfect job again. It's going to be 3 wins out of 3 starts here for the man from Cape Town, Andrew Rackstraw. Definitely racking up the points here. That's the way he wants to do it. Checkered flag is out and Rackstraw takes it. Taking the 3rd victory of the season there. First one of the day. Is there anybody who's got an answer to him? Josh Leroux found a little bit of late race pace there and he just managed to keep out Alex Foss as they come to the line. Yeah, there we go. To the line. Brilliant stuff. The youngster takes his 2nd podium and takes it onto the 2nd step of the podium as well. Alex Foss in 3rd place ahead of Waberski and Dean Fenter. There's your top 5. Brilliant stuff from them. The Geldernace boys make a welcome return in 6th and 7th ahead of Brendan Tracy, with Holtzhausen in 9th and Van Wheelie in 10th.
Dean, phenomenal race from the back of the grid to 5th.
No, it was great. The guys are quick. So I haven't been in the car for 3 years, but I enjoyed it. Hopefully the second race we can get more places because I got a really good start. So yeah.
Nicholas, that wasn't almost into the barrier.
Yeah, no, not a nice experience. The throttle stuck half open. Don't know what's happened. It just stayed half open and then went in, managed to stop it before the barrier, and then I managed to get it back and got out of the kitty litter and got going again, and it didn't do it again. So I really don't know what's stuck. We're going to have a look and see.
Welcome back to action from the Investchem Formula 1600s. Final preparations being done now for race number 2. An interesting little format that's turned up at the front now with dominance coming out of Andrew Rackstraw. Has anybody got what it takes to try and beat him here? It's certainly going to be a tough man to beat. Waberski we're looking to try, so will Leroux and Foss as they push through. But keep an eye out on the hard charge coming out of Holtzhausen and Van Wheelie, who'll be looking to make up ground after their offs in race number 1. The Sparko Shuffle coming out of Rackstraw. He's good to go. Time to get into that car as Jared Waberski climbs into the DAW Formula 1600. Final bits and pieces being strapped in, ready to go. Holtzhausen is definitely up for the challenge as we look at how Rackstraw has gone almost on the attack from the start. We go on board with Alex Foss a bit further back in 4th place on the grid. And it's a good start there from Foss. He goes side by side as they head down towards turn 1, and you can see just how hard he's pushing. Josh Leroux's going to try and outgun him into turn 1. Can he do that around the outside? Yes, he can. Only just though. The 2 Geldernace boys once again split there by Dean Fenter, who started at the back coming through and locking up already down into turn 2. Saw some brake smoke coming through that turn 2, and Holtzhausen runs wide. Foss is right on his tail. You can see that Andrew Rackstraw also locking up into turn 1 as well. You can see the pressure's on right from the word go. He does not want to give up a victory here this season. He wants all 4 victories from the first 4 starts, and that's how hard he's going to have to push with Van Wheelie right on his tail. Leroux with a bit of pressure. Ooh, and it's side by side through turn 4. 2 cars through turn 4 don't usually work. That outside line is pretty dirty, particularly at this stage of the race. Let's have a look at it here from Alex Foss's point of view down into turn 2. So little touch there from Alex Foss, and he gets out of shape. And I think that was the touch there coming from Holtzhausen. Holtzhausen just giving him a little tag on the back end, and he falls back 2 positions behind Waberski. Coming down to complete this first lap, Rackstraw from Van Wheelie. There you can see Josh Leroux, and then it's Holtzhausen. Geldernace 2 going through on the inside, looking for a way past. The 7 car there of Antoine trying to find a way through. Can't just yet to get through on Dean Fenter. Dean Fenter looking once again to try and get up into that top 5 again from the back of the field. Incredible run from him in the first race. Here we go, on board with Josh Leroux. Turning into turn 2. A little understeer there from Joshy. Got to try and get that a little bit smoother through there, but he gets it right. Holtzhausen on his tail. That's why he's under a bit of pressure, maybe making those mistakes because of the pressure that's being applied there from Ewan Holtzhausen just behind him. You can see a nice smooth line there from Ewan Holtzhausen. Looking to try and get into the slip now. But defensive driving from Josh Leroux. Not going to give him any opportunity into turn 4. Might have to try something to the top of the hill. Let's see if he gets it right this time out. Running wide, carrying good corner speed, and everybody following that line. Geldernace leading out the second pack of cars with Waberski on his tail. Van Wheelie hasn't been able to do anything. Oh, as I say that, a little bit of wide running there, and there you go, return to the favour. Josh Liu says, well, there you go. If you want to try and overtake me, you can, but you're going to run wide. And that's exactly what Holtzhausen did. He went into turn 5 a bit hot. If he saw what happened to Van Wheelie in the first one, he'll be very wary about trying to do those manoeuvres too quickly and maybe give the race a bit more of a chance to settle down a little bit. Across the line, another lap completed. Top 2 getting away there from 3 and 4, but the 3, 4 and almost 5 battle is about to rage. Werberski coming along for the ride. He's got Voss on his tail, and Alex Voss trying to close down on Jared Werberski, who's doing the same thing to Jared Geldenhuys just up the road. This is Werberski's point of view. Closing in on Geldenhuys, looking for a way past. Nice line there from Jared Werberski as he comes out, and he powers down towards turn 3 now, closing on the back end of Geldenhuys. Geldenhuys just pulling a little bit of a gap, but that gap has now been pulled in big time by Werberski. And if he's not careful, Werberski is going to bring along Alex Voss for the ride as well. Geldenhuys is going to have to be very wary. As they come out of turn 4, he's got 2 cars on the attack, and a third one, I should say, coming along to make it a 4-way battle up to the top of the hill. Late braking from Geldenhuys, keeping the car in the center of the circuit, not giving Jared Werberski any opportunity to find a way past. But Werberski is definitely trying hard. Look at that. Looking for a different line through Kenwood Corner, now flicking it through the left-hander and heading back down the hill towards GNH. GNH Transport Corner has seen lots of action in single-seaters in the past. And about to see some more. Here comes Werberski. Late on the brakes. Is he good enough to get through? Geldenhuys gives him some room to play. That's great driving and respective driving there from the two of them. Oh, and he gets run wide. Run off the circuit. I say respective driving, but I think he ran wide there on his own, and it's given Voss a chance to dive through as well. So Alex Voss capitalizes on a small mistake there from Jared Geldenhuys with the pressure being applied by Werberski coming out of turn 8. He just ran ever so slightly wide, and with him running wide, that lost traction. This is, I can see Geldenhuys' point of view. He just makes a small mistake there. You can see he actually had to correct the wheel, which ran him wide. Werberski dived on his inside. He gave Werberski some room, and Werberski didn't return the favour. He was very dominant on the inside there and made that move stick. And you can see Geldenhuys is now battling a little bit, and so is his brother in the background. Antoine getting it a bit sideways as well. Here comes pressure from Voss. Has Werberski got through? Yes, he has. Holtzhausen's had a problem. Werberski's got through on Holtzhausen, and here comes Voss on Holtzhausen through turn 1. He's got the inside line. Volkswagen corner. He's done it. Perfectly done. Running wide now and under the brakes, just behind. Geldenhuys is under a bit of pressure as well. Oh, both of them locking up. Whoa! Holtzhausen with nowhere to go, locked up in sympathy for the man locking up his inside. Voss got it all wrong, and Holtzhausen unfortunately had nowhere to go around the outside of turn 2. He had to go on the kiddie litter, come back on the circuit. Very lucky to survive that, but this could have ended up a lot worse for wear. This is Voss's point of view as we go down there in the replay. He locks up, runs wide, and with him running wide, of course, it forced Ewan Holtzhausen. This is his point of view going towards turn 2. Watch for the outbreaking smoke. There it is. And he just runs wide. Unfortunately, nowhere to go there. And Ewan Holtzhausen eventually gets back on track, but it's a long way back now. Rackstraw's dominant. Absolutely brilliant stuff with only 3 corners to go. He's just been an absolute find of the season here, and Piazza Musa must be very impressed with his youngster coming out of the Race Driver SA program as they come down under braking now. He's got 4 wins out of 4 starts in the bag. That's a great start to the season, and certainly a man who looks like he's going to be the dominant factor this year. Right on his tail, the former champion, Nicholas Van Wheelie, this time making no mistakes and getting up into 2nd place. But he's got to try and find something special by the time we get to PE for the next round. There's results and the confirmation of them. Rackstraw from Van Wheelie, LaRue and Werberski 3 and 4 ahead of Voss and Geldenhuys, Venter, Geldenhuys, Holtzhausen and Brendan Tracy in the top 10.
Josh, it's your rookie season and you did fantastically well. 2nd overall for the weekend.
Yeah, I mean, it was really exciting for me. My first time being on the front row this weekend as well. Nervous, but I just want to say big thanks to all my sponsors and Investchem for making everything happen. And thanks for all my family for their support.
Andrew, a fantastic day of full points again.
Yeah, I'm very happy, mostly because it is their home circuit, so it is going to be a lot closer. A huge thanks has to go to Investchem, RDSA and Hendrik for all the work that they put into my car. It felt absolutely amazing, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to the next race, which I think is PE.